What's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be doing a ranking of all of the Dark Souls 1 bosses. So I just finished up my blind playthrough a bit ago, and by the way, thank you guys again for all the support on that series. It was literally insane. If you want to go watch it, it's in a playlist on my channel. It's called the Dark Souls Blind Playthrough. But anyways, I figured now that I've seen basically everything the game has to offer, aside from a few areas and a few bosses and DLC and stuff like that, we go ahead and rank the majority of the bosses. Now, in this ranking, I was going to include gameplay until I realized I don't have the raw footage anymore for some of these bosses. So the only way I could get any footage for these bosses would either be A, stealing it off of YouTube, which is not my style. I don't like doing that because that gets a little complicated. Or B, downloading my videos off of YouTube and then putting them in the video. But the problem with that is, if you know anything about YouTube compression, by the time you guys see these videos in the first place, they look like utter dog water compared to how they actually looked in like the editing software when I was editing it, and you know, just like the raw file. But going ahead and double compressing it like through YouTube twice, I don't want you guys watching a 240p video. Anyways, with that out of the way, it's kind of hard to see what like some of these bosses are. I'm gonna have to get in like really close to take a good look at these guys. And if I end up messing any of these up and I get any of these wrong or get the names wrong, it's simply because it's hard to see them. I'm literally zoomed in almost as far as I can. I'm gonna try to like look at it as good as I can before ranking it. So first up, I'm pretty sure that it's either Artorias or it's Ornstein. Oh wait, no, I think this is Ornstein down here. Okay, I think this is Artorias, maybe. I did not actually get to the DLC yet, so that one's just gonna go to the did not fight category. I've heard it is literally one of the best boss fights in like Souls period, so I definitely want to get to it. Bed of Chaos, F tier immediately. I have no idea what they were thinking when they designed that boss. It is literally like the worst boss fight in gaming, period. I literally don't understand how it passed like QA testing. It is just so broken, and the only reason that I beat it was because I did that trick where you like quit the game, go back in after every stage, and it kind of like resets you so you don't get killed immediately. And even then, I had to do the boss run so many times over, it is engraved into my soul, and I never want to fight it again. Right now, I'm doing another playthrough of Dark Souls off camera just so that I can kind of get that raw experience by myself and do some of the other optional areas. And I can already tell you I am not looking forward to the Bed of Chaos fight whatsoever. Some of these bosses, it's hard because I didn't like get a good look at all of their faces in the game, if I'm being honest. Like this one, I have no idea what it is, or this one, so I'm going to put them in didn't fight. I think this is supposed to be the Asylum Demon, I believe, from like the beginning of the game. I'm gonna put it at A. I know like realistically it's not an amazing boss fight or whatever, but it's just the fact that it does such a good job in the tutorial section of like teaching the player the mechanics of boss fights, the mechanics of the game in general, and kind of like the strategy elements that are implemented into the game, if that makes sense, because combat in Dark Souls isn't like normal combat in video games. It's very strategy based. It's like, okay, I'm managing my stamina, my health, when am I going to heal, what am I going to dodge, am I going to block this attack, do I have to dodge this attack? Like, it's very strategic. It's almost like an RTS in real time. I just realized what I said, RTS in real time. Yeah, RTS means real time strategy game. You know what I mean though, it's like RTS, but you're actually doing it. Ooh, the boy Pinwheel. Oh yes, I'm gonna put this at an S, just because this boss fight was so easy, and it was at a point in the game where I was getting a little frustrated just trying to navigate the catacombs because I did not have a divine weapon for any, like, no part of my playthrough did I ever have a divine weapon. So by the time I got to Pinwheel and it was that good of a pushover, like that easy of a pushover, it was just such a relief. Now that I think of it, as much as I do want to keep it there, I gotta move it down to C. It's a really bad boss fight. Is it F? No, it is not Bed of Chaos. It is not Bed of Chaos at all. But it's very, it's not even a boss fight. It's easier than most of the mob enemies in the game. Like, the mob enemies from Undead Burg are harder than Pinwheel. Pinwheel, you can get through it no hit. Nito! Oh my god, can I tell you guys something? This was actually my most anticipated fight of the game. I was so excited. I saw him in the opening cutscene. I was like, oh my god, Nito looks like such a badass. I cannot wait to fight him. Got to his boss fight, beat him first try, just taking his hits with Havel's armor. It was, C. You know, the enemies that you can cheese really easily, I'm probably just gonna put at a C, because it's just like, it's not really a boss fight. I mean, even if you didn't do it without it, I guess like if you would have moved around the arena more, you do have more skeletons that spawn in, so for that sake, I guess I'll put it at B, because it definitely isn't as easy as Pinwheel, but if you know what you're doing and you have weapons that are good enough, yeah, you can first try it, no problem. Alright, we have the Iron Golem. This is the first boss fight in Souls where I did not even have to touch the boss and I killed it. It was ridiculous. And see, I did that with the summon, but there's also a way you don't even need summons. You don't need any assistance. You don't need anything. You can make him fall off the map. Like, you can kill this guy without even touching him. So for that reason, I almost want to put him in F, but again, it's not like Bed of Chaos level bad. It's just really easy. So I'm going to leave it at C. Next up, we got the Vagina Monster. If you don't know what you're doing, it's actually a pretty challenging boss, but for me, I have a really easy strategy. I wait till it opens up its vagina teeth and starts doing the weird thing, and then it like slams down and walks forward. Because when it walks forward, it only goes in one direction, which is forward, and then you wait till it stops, you go behind, hit it in the ass, that's it. So, it's easy once you learn it, but until then, it's definitely very challenging, so I'm gonna put it at an A, because there's still some fight to be had there. Four Kings, I want to put it in A, but I also want to put it in B, because it can be challenging if you're not ready. Like, if you're not ready and you're going in there with weapons that aren't very good in terms of DPS, because this boss really is just a DPS check, you're screwed. But CB, I went in there with a Gravelord sword and Havel's armor, tanked all the hits, and got rid of him in like 2 minutes. So for me, I would have put it in C because it was just so easy to cheese for me. But some people, you know, it may not be that easy for them. If their armor isn't as good, if they don't have Havel's armor or didn't think to use it, or if they're using a weapon that isn't good DPS-wise, then yeah, I mean, I could see how it could go in A as being very challenging, but I'm a little tossed up. I'm going to leave it in A for now. I'll see if I change my mind by the end. Okay, see, a few of these bosses are kind of just blending in. I think this is Ceaseless Discharge, this is Fire Sage Demon, and this is Centipede Demon. Okay, so let's get these out of the way real quick. Fire Sage Demon, I'm going to put it in C. It was so easily cheesable. You literally just trap him in a corner, and the only attack he will do when he's trapped in the corner is the weird jump attack. He'll do the jump attack, you dodge out of the way, go and attack, repeat. It's very, very easy. I'm putting it in C for that. Ceaseless Discharge, you run to the other side, grab the armor, run back to the fog wall, he'll do the jump attack, you Lion King Mufasa him. Very, very easy. And then the Centipede Demon, I'm going to put it at a B because it's not the hardest thing in the world, but it's also not super easy. But if you get underneath of him, you can cheese him really easy and just kind of like slice at his underside and get through it in about 2 minutes. Dark Sun Gwendolyn, I'm going to put it at a B because until you learn how to dodge the one attack where he does the super big magic beam that can even go through the pillars, it can be pretty challenging. Granted, it doesn't take like very long to learn how to do that, but until you do, and especially for some, I'm not gonna try to put myself up on a pedestal and be like, oh, I'm a great gamer. But for some gamers that aren't as good or don't play video games as often to kind of pick up on those little nuances, they might be stuck. Like, how do I dodge a magic beam? It's bullshit. Or he's shooting arrows every time I try to run at him, or he keeps teleporting. Like, they may not know that the best way to go about it is to go at him while he's still attacking, do like a lunge attack and try to get a few swings while he's doing his teleport animation. So I could see how some players could be frustrated for that. Since it can provide a decent challenge, I'll leave it a B. Bell Gargoyles, I'm gonna put in S tier. It is an amazing skill check for like the first, that's not even like the quarter way of the game. I'd say, you know, for the first like 1/8, 1/6 part of the game, it's a very good skill check. It definitely put me in my place at first. If you restore your humanity and go into this with, you know, Bro Solaire, you can definitely knock this out like no problem. In fact, in my series, I ended up beating them like quite quickly. It was only about 30 seconds just because Solaire was messing up, but otherwise, like on my first couple of goes at it, it was definitely like very challenging trying to learn their moveset. This one, I don't know if we fought it. It looks like a DLC boss to me, so I'm just gonna leave it there and didn't fight. I believe this one is either called Magnus or Manus or something like that. I know that's a DLC boss from the Notorious of the Abyss DLC. I didn't do any of the DLC yet. Dapper Demon, it's kind of a BS boss, honestly. When you run in, you're gonna get slashed immediately. And learn, I don't even really know where to put this one, because once you run up the stairs, sit on that little ledge, you can like just plunge attack him over and over. Learning his moveset isn't that hard either. He only does like 3 different moves, but again, it is kind of BS how he just attacks you immediately. Like a first time player is not going to know, hey, I need to shield up walking through this fall gate. It's yes, it's an okay boss fight. It's not bad by any means, but it's definitely just very mid. Moonlight Butterfly is also gonna go C. I don't know what they were thinking when they called this thing a boss, but it is not that. I was literally laughing when I was fighting this thing, because up to this point, I had fought the Taurus Demon, the Asylum Demon, the Bell Gargoyle, so by the time I got to this, I was like, what is this? Chaos Wish K-Lag is going to go S. Very challenging moveset to learn. It's very hard to learn when you should heal, when you should go up and attack. I had a very good time fighting this boss. And I mean, hey, she's pretty sexy. What do you think I'm talking about? I'm talking about the spider, not the girl. Sif, I'm going to put it A because I beat this one first try, yet again. But he's a big boy. You're not blocking and dodging at the right time, so he's gonna knock you on your ass. You know, all the big enemies in this game, they're very big for a reason. They do a lot of damage. And I could definitely say, yeah, Civ will keep you on your toes. You gotta make sure you're staying on top of your healing and make sure you have a very good shield going in. And this boss just forces you to be really aggressive. Like, if you want to hit him, you gotta be, like, in between his legs, right in front of him. I only was able to kill him because I had a lightning spear, which has a very good thrust range. If it wasn't for that, if I was trying to kill him with a battle axe, I don't think I would have done it first try. It's honestly really hard trying to get to him and hit him. I do not recommend doing this boss fight locked on. There's a lot of bosses I can say that for in this game. Ones like the Gaping Dragon, Civ, Chaos Witch, K-Lag, those are boss fights you want to do locked off or else you're going to get screwed. Ornstein and Smo, we're going to take them out, both at once, S tier. I got so mad at them in my video. I claimed that they were bad design, bad game design. It is a terrible boss, and I was complaining and whining. But after you learn their moveset and you stop being a little bitch like me, you realize, oh, shit. This is video game designing genius. This boss fight was only made by a genius. The timing of their animations is perfect. You are forced to stay on your toes at all time. You have to be frame perfect in your dodges. It is brutal. If you can beat Ornstein and Smo, you can beat the entirety of Dark Souls, no problem. In fact, I first tried literally every single boss, including the final boss, after beating Ornstein and Smo. The final boss was a lie. I almost did, but that was the time where I wasn't recording and I realized, oh shit, this is the end of the game. So I forced myself to like wouldn't kill me as much as I didn't want to so that I could start the recording, and then just go through and try to beat him again. Ornstein and Smo, I respect them, and they've definitely become probably one of my favorite boss fights in gaming, period. Let's just get these last few out of the way. Is this guy considered a boss? I mean, if so, I'm putting him in F. It's not even a boss. Like, it's so easy that it's insulting. You can kill him in literally one hit. The Taurus Demon is another one I'm gonna put in S because this one messed me up for like 4 or 5 hours. However, once you learn that you can cheese him really easy with plunge attacks, especially if you're two-handing your weapon, it does become pretty trivial. So for that reason, I think I gotta drop it to A. I would, honestly, in all reality, if he was any later in the game, I would put him at B or C. But just because of the fact that he is quite a hurdle to get over at first, I'm going to leave him in A because I'm sure this is... If people got up to this point in Dark Souls, I'm sure there was plenty of players that weren't as good that ended up quitting after fighting Taurus Demon, which you got to respect for that. I don't know. He is really trivial once you learn him. I'm going to leave him at B. Anyways, yeah, this is my tier list. So the first two down here, Bed of Chaos and this weird, like, priest one, these are two of the Fs. As bosses, I can't even believe the priest counts as a boss, but they're whatever. The game would be fine without them, really. I mean, I don't have anything... Well, no, the Bed of Chaos I have something against, but the priest I don't really have anything against. And then these four, I just haven't fought yet. I'll get to them when I get to the DLC, I guess. Yeah, now I want to hear from you guys. Do you guys agree with my tier list or not? Also, if you guys would prefer these rankings to have, like, gameplay in the background whenever I'm talking about the boss, just let me know, and I will redo this once I do the DLC, and I'll actually include, like, gameplay that time. I'll just kind of go through. I will literally do a full run of Dark Souls and record the whole thing just so I can get footage for these videos if it means that much to you guys. Anyway, as always, a shout out to the Patrons, comments, hey grandma, Little Bitty Tap, and Big Daddy Matty. Just want to give you guys another reminder. My birthday is coming up in literally 5 days on October 26th. If you guys want to give me a birthday gift, you can go down to the link in the description. There's a website called Throne Gifts. I have a page over there, and I just have a wish list of stuff you guys can send me. I would really appreciate it. I have cheap items. I'm going to be adding even more cheap items over the next couple days, and then if you guys want to get me anything, you can. Anything ranging from like $5 to $30. Anyways, yeah, hopefully I see you guys back here tomorrow at 7. Thank you for watching. I love you all. Stay beautiful and have an amazing day. And remember, don't go hollow. Peace.